In the wild, there are no laws, only territory. And to keep it, some are willing to sacrifice everything. Every dawn paints the same canvas of conflict across the globe, from the misty savannas to the jagged coastlines. Here, survival is not a right. It is a prize earned through sheer will and brute force. In this unforgiving world, the boundaries are invisible, yet they are defended with a ferocity that defies imagination. For every creature, the patch of earth, water, or air they call home is the foundation of their existence, the very stage upon which life and death play out their eternal drama. Across these untamed landscapes, a silent, tense anticipation hangs heavy in the air. A lone wolf, its breath fogging in the cool morning air, stares across a valley, its muscles coiled like springs. On a distant rocky shore, a massive bull sea lion raises its head, a low, guttural roar rumbling from its chest. A challenge to any who dare approach. In the murky depths of a river, the eyes of a hippopotamus break the surface, cold and unblinking, a silent sentinel guarding its liquid kingdom. These are not idle threats. They are declarations. The heartbeat of the wild thumps like a war drum, a rhythmic prelude to the inevitable clash for dominance. Every rustle of leaves, every ripple in the water, every shadow that moves is a potential threat, a challenger to the throne. The air itself seems to crackle with tension, a palpable energy that precedes the storm of conflict. For every living being in this raw, unfiltered world, territory is more than just a piece of land. It is the source of life itself. It is the pantry that provides food, the sanctuary that offers shelter, and the arena where the right to pass on one's genes is won. The borders of a territory define the limits of opportunity. Within these lines lie the hunting grounds teeming with prey, the choicest nesting sites safe from predators, and access to the most desirable mates. To hold territory is to hold the keys to the future, to ensure that one's lineage continues. It is the ultimate measure of success in the brutal calculus of nature. Conversely, to lose this vital asset is to face a sentence of almost certain doom. An animal driven from its home is cast into a nomadic existence, a desperate wanderer in a world of established rulers. It becomes an outcast, forced to traverse hostile, unfamiliar lands, where every corner hides a rival, and every resource is already claimed. Without a territory, there is no reliable source of food, no safe place to rest, and no chance to reproduce. It is a slow, agonizing descent into oblivion, a gradual fading away from the gene pool. Losing territory is not merely a defeat. It is the loss of the fundamental right to survive, a slide into the margins of existence where the only certainty is struggle. The rulers of these natural kingdoms are not born. They are forged in the crucible of combat. They are the ones who stand their ground when all others retreat. The uncompromising sovereigns who understand that power is never given, only taken. On the windswept Pacific beaches, two colossal male sea lions, each weighing over a ton, collide with a sickening thud. Their chests meet like battering rams, the impact echoing off the cliffs as sand and water explode into the air. The rest of the colony, a harem of females, and their vulnerable pups, watch from a safe distance, the fate of their community hanging in the balance of this titanic struggle. Their roars are not just sounds of aggression. They are proclamations of strength, each bellow a testament to their readiness to endure pain for the sake of their domain. This primal drama repeats itself in countless forms across the planet. In the heart of the forest, two magnificent stags lock antlers, their powerful necks straining as they push and shove in a deadly dance. The sharp tines, grown for this very purpose, threaten to pierce flesh and bone, a high-stakes test of endurance and strength. On the African plains, elephant bulls, mountains of muscle and ivory, push head-to-head, the ground trembling beneath their immense weight. Their tusks, formidable weapons, are brought to bear in a contest where a single misstep can be fatal. Along the riverbanks, dominanto crocodiles, ancient reptiles of terrifying power, defend their prime basking spots with bone-crushing snaps of their jaws, warning off any intruder who dares to encroach upon their watery realm. In these battles, it is not always the strongest that wins. but the one willing to fight the longest. The one whose will to dominate outweighs its instinct for self. Yet, outright war is a costly, dangerous affair. Energy is a precious currency in the wild, and injuries can be a death sentence, leading to infection or an inability to hunt. Therefore, a complex and tense psychological game often precedes any physical contact. Combat is the last resort. Intimidation is the preferred first line of defense. Animals engage in elaborate displays of posturing, designed to showcase their strength and resolve without landing a single blow. A bear rises on its hind legs, towering over its rival. A silverback gorilla beats its chest, the percussive sound a clear and unambiguous warning. A bird of prey spreads its wings to their full, impressive span, making itself appear larger and more formidable. These are calculated risks. A high-stakes poker game, where the stakes are life and limb. The combatants stare each other down, their eyes locked in a battle of wills. Every detail is a signal. The slow, deliberate movement, the raised fur or puffed out chest, the deep, rumbling growls that vibrate through the ground. They are assessing one another, gauging their opponent's confidence, searching for any sign of weakness or hesitation. This is a war fought in the mind, before it is ever fought with claw or tooth. The goal is to make the opponent back down, to win the territory without the need for a potentially crippling fight. Conserving energy is everything, and the wisest warriors know that the most effective victory is the one achieved without bloodshed. But when intimidation fails, when both rivals are equally determined and unwilling to yield, the fragile peace shatters. The tension that has been building erupts into an explosion of violence. What follows is a chaotic, desperate frenzy where survival is measured in fractions of a second. Dust clouds billow as bodies collide on the savannah. Water splashes into the air as aquatic titans clash beneath the surface. The fight is a whirlwind of motion, a blur of fur, feather, and scale. The natural sounds of the wild are amplified into a terrifying symphony of conflict. The guttural roars of exertion and rage. The sickening crunch of impact. The heavy, ragged breathing of animals pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. The focus is not on gore, but on the raw, unyielding power and the immense pressure of the moment. Slow-motion footage reveals the ripple of muscles under skin, the spray of sweat and saliva, the desperate glint in an eye as two forces of nature collide. It is a primal ballet of aggression, a terrifying and beautiful spectacle of life at its most intense. In these moments, there is no thought, only instinct. Every fiber of their being is dedicated to a single purpose: to overwhelm, to dominate, to win. The world narrows to just the opponent, and the only goal is to be the one left standing when the dust finally settles. Every war, however, must eventually come to an end. The explosive fury subsides, leaving behind a stark and often brutal aftermath. There is a victor, and there is a vanquished. The loser, battered and broken, retreats from the battlefield. A wounded wolf limps away into the shadows. It's reign over. A defeated sea lion bull slips back into the cold ocean, leaving behind the territory and the family it fought so desperately to protect. These are moments of profound loss, the silent, painful acknowledgement of defeat. Their wounds, both physical and psychological, are deep, and their future is now uncertain. In stark contrast, the winner stands tall, often bloodied, but unbowed. A triumphant male lion patrols the boundaries of his newly secured kingdom, his roar echoing across the plains, a declaration of his supremacy. Scars, fresh and old, mark his body, the permanent tattoos of his struggle. He has paid a heavy price for his crown, but for now, the territory is his. The females and their young, who had watched the conflict from a distance, slowly and cautiously return, accepting the new ruler. Victory brings power, access to resources, and the chance to sire the next generation. But the price of that victory is always etched on the body, a permanent reminder of the brutal reality of their world. As the sun sets, casting long shadows over the landscape, a temporary calm descends. The sounds of battle fade, replaced by the gentle rhythms of the evening. The cycle however, is far from over. From the edges of the territory, a new generation watches and waits. Young males, not yet strong enough to challenge the king, observe the dominant male from afar. They are learning, growing, biding their time. In their eyes, the same fire of ambition burns, the same primal urge for dominance that fueled the battle they just witnessed. The reign of any ruler is fleeting, for in the wild, the war for territory never truly ends. The peace of tonight is merely the prelude to the wars of tomorrow, an unending loop of challenge, conflict, and succession that defines life itself.